32 days of Lingus continue. Day number 6. Are we keeping you entertained every day?
I hope so.
A little
Should
something.
be.
Well, it's something to listen to every single day. It's something, if you're a podcast person, that listens to podcasts every day. It's
Not a full meal, but you're getting a little snack. But then, if you say, I'll skip a couple days, you can pound out a few in a row.
That's true. And your boys are here to entertain you because I'm always coming up with something new and exciting. And 32 days of Lingus is the latest. Wait until Weekamania. You're all going to fall down. I'm Kev Manning.
I'm Fauci Walnuts.
Here we go again. It's WrestleMania 6, folks.
The Ultimate Challenge.
When did this take place?
April 1st, 1999. Oh, 1990. Excuse me. At the Sky Dome in Toronto in front of 67,678 people. The first WrestleMania to take place outside of the United States.
And Edge was there, for God's sake.
Edge, Christian, Lance Storm, and even a young Renee Young were in attendance.
No kidding. I never heard all that part.
Mm-hmm.
Even better. How about that?
And sadly, this will be the last WrestleMania with Jesse Ventura on commentary.
Gorilla and Jesse together. Gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Goulet with the national anthem.
Goulet.
I never get sore testicles.
Oh, before we get into the matches, there was actually the first Mania with a dark match. Paul Roma beat Brooklyn Brawler. Non-televised dark match.
No shit. Paul Roma. Fucking Romeo over there. Shit, what you said.
Actually, the next few Manias have dark matches.
Oh, really?
Odd. Yeah.
See, now that's something I have no idea. See,
I didn't know either until I was looking some stuff up.
Yeah, this is the whole free-for-all.
Yeah, no kidding.
Modern-day free-for-all. Now we get the cart to the ring again.
Yeah.
In this one. And it starts off with Rick the Model Martel versus Coco B. Where?
Buckwheat.
As we know, Jesse, bring it up again. Jesus Christ. And, so we saw last year, this is when Martel turned fucking heel.
Mm-hmm.
So now he is full-fledged with a sweater tied around his top, around his waist and his shoulders, like a preppy.
Yep.
And everything. So, of course, Martel has to go over against Coco. We get Demolition going for the tag titles.
Mm-hmm. Last year they were defending.
Mm-hmm.
This year.
And this is
challenging.
For a three-peat against the Colossal Connection, which earlier Mean Gene interviews them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, when they're supposed to be big bad heels, how is he able to make fun of them? It's a cardinal rule to not. Because do you know what he said?
Refresh me.
He called them the Colostomy Connection.
Oh, that's right.
And then it constantly was jokes about these two guys aren't regular. Regular guys. It was a lot of that nonsense. So
sounds like Vince humor to me.
Yeah. Andre flips toe. Mm-hmm. He turned toe. And it's pretty good because when Bobby blames him for the loss, because the Colossal Connection was Andre and Haku.
Yeah.
They blame Andre for the loss.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Andre was tied in the ropes. So, it was pretty much Haku did the match.
Yeah.
I think Andre came in twice at best.
This was Andre's last televised match.
Last televised?
Because I guess he worked some dark matches or like live events after this. But yeah, he could fucking barely move.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't moving well. But when Bobby was yelling at him and poking him in the chest in the corner, his fault. You could hear it. And what's funny on the network, they've left it in.
Mm-hmm.
What does Bobby yell at him?
Oh, I already forgot. I should have wrote that down.
I'm the fucking boss.
Oh, that's right.
I'm the fucking boss, and he slaps him. And the funny thing is, here's the awkward Andre again.
Mm-hmm.
Paintbrushing Bobby.
Yeah.
Missing him by a mile on the backhand. I'd be like, I know you could really hurt me, Andre, but you can slap me.
Yeah.
You can. It's okay. I'll deal with it. But he misses him by a
that's
mile.
Funny that Bobby's calling you saying I'm the boss
because they call him boss.
Yeah, I call him boss. Boss likes that spot.
And the boss ain't like that spot. You got to do Cancer Bobby.
Oh, sorry.
Boss ain't like that spot. Fuck. I love a Bobby here.
Who doesn't love a Bobby?
Yeah, fantastic. Hercules versus the Quake.
There's Hercules again. He shows up a lot of these.
Hercules is in a lot of these. Earthquake winning. Rhonda Barrett. No, Rona. Sorry, not Rhonda. Rona Barrett interviews Miss Elizabeth And I was like, who the fuck is this Rona Barrett again? It was a
don't
gossip
know.
column chick.
Yeah.
It was that. Remember,
She
E
must have
had
been
that
popular
show.
at the time.
They had that show later on. It was like some gossip thing, and they would go through each person telling a story. It was all just gossip.
Oh, okay.
And people who wrote articles for different magazines. So she interviews Elizabeth, and Elizabeth says that she's been away from the ring because she can't help enough. She's not afraid of being hurt, but she feels that she won't be able to help someone enough, and she'll feel bad about it.
All right.
But if she ever comes back, we're going to see a more aggressive Elizabeth. And they go, oh, well. And it's funny because Rona there's like, oh, all these beauties I've interviewed, but they all pale in comparison to you, Miss Elizabeth. Oh, thank you, Rona. I'm like, oh, fuck.
I was going to say...
Classic beauty. The first lady.
I was going to say, what the fuck did Elizabeth even do after this?
Oh, because it was... well, she's busy in this. She's busy in 6. But the thing is, who did she ever manage other than Mach?
Hogan?
Yeah, well... For how long?
I was going to say, well...
Going to the other side in
WCW. Go on the other one.
When she got implants, too.
Luger.
Sucking off a Luger. Jesus Christ, that's so weird. Mr. Perfect versus Brutus Beefcake. Battle of my two guys at the time.
Yeah.
Because I was a Beefcake guy, and then Beefcake got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to be a Mr. Perfect guy.
Yeah, I liked Perfect.
Because Beefcake was gone, and I became Mr. Perfect. Then Beefcake comes back and breaks the fucking streak.
Yeah.
Breaks the winning streak of Perfect. This is like me going from the Blackhawks to the Sharks. And then the Blackhawks beat the Sharks and go win. I'm like, what? What kind of hotel is this? First loss. Genius gets a haircut, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the funny thing is Genius had already gotten a haircut earlier. Do you remember that? He already gotten...
Yeah.
And so when they take off that hat, he's got a complete crew-cut flat top, and all the rest is long.
Right.
He looks like a fool. And he is... I am telling you, the Genius is the greatest ever. He's the greatest performer in history. He was going crazy in the ring trying to get away from Beefcake. Beefcake is pulling him by... And it's very proper because you wouldn't just take your medicine.
Yeah.
You would be killing and fighting, getting out. He's pulling him by the arms in the ring, and he's doing leg whip trying to get out of it. Look like a fish, right? He's doing the worm, but and he's like, just getting out, get me out. And then he puts him in a sleeper. And you see Genius cringing while he's getting his hair cut.
Oh, yeah.
See his teeth hanging out. He's like, shit, Yeah. And, of course, you know how they wake you up from a sleeper. Smack the back of your neck. You're waking up, right? Piper versus Bad News. I almost said Barrett. Bad News Brown or Bad News Allen. Yes, he should be in the Hall of Fame then, too. Double count out. And here is where Piper goes black and white.
Yeah. When it was just a few years ago.
He said, I don't need to paint myself black. And here's where I'm watching the Colostomy Connection going, so after Andre went to the back, he stole the solution and changed it with water for Piper to clean his black off. Because he's the one who took it.
Right.
So he just replaced it with water.
Yeah.
So Piper was scrubbing himself with water and starting to bleed because he was just scrubbing and scrubbing. I'm like, how does this go on where it's Andre just doesn't go, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
He lets him live this way. All right, go on a plane?
Yeah, that's
how
right. He was
brutal.
on the plane with that too, right?
He went home. He said he had to get drunk and bought a first-class seat for the teddy bear he was taking home to his kid.
Oh, yeah, that too.
And just got drunk because he was still half black.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm embarrassed. And he did what he had to do.
Some real paint. It wasn't no grease paint.
Oh, man. Steve Allen, Mr. Comedian.
Oh, yeah. This guy.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Hi, Sonny. What would you have to think about this Steve Allen being involved? Oh, my God. This Steve Allen.
We'll see Sonny down the road.
So, no, by the time this airs, we've already seen Sonny on the other show, too.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Steve Allen is busy with his terrible jokes. Singing in the shower with the bullshits.
Oh, yeah, stupid.
Yeah, it's very... Oh, it's those take my wife, please jokes that are awful. We get the Bullshits versus the Hart Foundation in about 2 seconds of a match.
Yep.
Fantastic. Just get it out of there. You know, they know we don't need to see that shit.
14 fucking matches on this card. We're going to have a few squashes.
The LA Memorial Coliseum for WrestleMania 7. Whoops.
Well.
Whoops, there's a war. And here's the thing. They're not going to bomb fucking wrestling.
No.
You imagine. This is what they were nervous about being attacked at wrestling.
Well, there's another story, too, but we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Okay. So we get then the Barbarian
versus Mr. WrestleMania.
Mr. WrestleMania, Tito Santana, Mr. The man who dwarfs the Undertaker, minus the record. The what?
The record? The what?
Joke for two.
Exactly.
Look up the phony phone call called The Record on YouTube. You'll know what we're talking about.
By, what's his name?
Jim Florentine.
There you go, Florentine.
Thank you.
The what?
Worst T-shirt ever Tito Santana has.
Oh, is that just the...
It's a red shirt with his cartoon picture on there with his fist. Arriba. And it just says... It doesn't even say Arriba. It just says on the bottom.
But you know
Tito
that's what
Santana.
he's doing.
And I believe there's a... I almost said a tortilla.
Sombrero?
A sombrero on the end of his name. It's hanging on the fucking A at the end. So, all right. That's what we have with Tito.
Yeah. Next is the depressing match because they all gone.
Yeah, exactly. This match is empty at this point. It is the first ever mixed tag match.
Yeah.
How about that? First ever in WWE history mixed tag match. Macho Man or Macho King versus with Sherri.
Sensational Sherri.
Sensational Queen Sherri.
Excuse me.
Versus Dusty and Sweet Sapphire, baby. And who comes to the ring? The crown jewel, baby. We got the crown jewel. She's going to come out here right now, baby. And it's Elizabeth. And Macho Man freak out. He turned to the crowd. No.
She found someone she could help.
And then she dances very white afterwards. She starts doing the, they do the Elaine Bennis while they dance with the thumbs to the side. And
She don't have the blue-eyed soul.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, Blue-Eyed Soul has more than Sapphire does out there. Oh, Sapphire. Sweet Sapphire.
I remember back then, I'm like, who the fuck is this black lady? Like, why is she here?
And I'm like, she's at every show. What's going on? Polka dot out. My little baby Dusty. They kiss on the lips and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? First time.
That's probably why Cody grew up to marry a black
Oh!
lady.
So my father was into soul food, so am I. What you said. I could see him, like, looking over, like, you just see Cody's nose and up, and then you zoom back, and it's Eden's ass. Like he's looking over a fence. He's just licking her asshole. And I don't blame the man. She looks like a white chick that's dark.
Yeah.
White features, everything. How could you blame him? First time in an interview, Bobby gets crossed up. He's talking in the back, and he says, listen to me. Because he's yelling about Andre. And he says, if you listen to me, you go to the top. If you don't listen to me, you're never heard from again. You just... And I'm like, it's supposed to be you just committed career suicide. Mm-hmm. That's what that is. You've just... And he sits there with his mouth open, and Mean Gene jumps in and goes, what are you, lost for words for the first time? I'm not, like the whole, are you crying, Bobby? I'm not crying. He gets upset. So, Rona Barrett again with Ventura and Gorilla and says Jesse has been seen in a porno movie.
What?
And they're going to play the clip. And Jesse goes, no, we're going to a clip for someone else, and sends it away. And it's like, when they come back, Gorilla goes, oh, I saw it, and it doesn't look like you. What?
What's going on here?
What kind of hotel? There's no reason for any of this at all. I'm like, okay. Hulk Hogan in an interview in the back after this says, the Sky Dome is the greatest arena of all time. Love the one you're with is what that one's called, folks. Because never mind MSG.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Mr. America, and he's like, yeah, Skydome's the best ever.
Thumbs up.
The Oriental Express, or should they call them the Asian Express, folks? Versus the Rockers.
Mr. WrestleMania.
Count out. What the fuck? Salt in the eyes of Marty. This Marty.
It's Marty. Planting
God
seeds.
forget it. God forbid. Steve
Dark
Allen.
Ascension.
Steve Allen with some more bad jokes with rhythm and blues now. I go right past it. Thank you. Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Dino Bravo.
There's Dino Bravo again, too.
Now, this is very retarded because I think Hacksaw might be retarded. He might be in the back going, hey,
Wow.
Pipe, I need to know something.
Hey, Pipe.
Because he is on the cart with his American flag chanting USA. And then he gets into the ring and he gets on the ropes. Come on, everyone. USA. Dino Bravo's Canadian and Hacksaw is American, and they're in the Toronto Sky Dome. And the crowd sits on his hand. The crowd, I hear boos.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. They sit right on hands, and he's yelling USA, USA. And even,
USA.
at least Jesse mentioned it. Boy, he's retarded, he pretty much says. I'm like, he's like, what's wrong
He's
with
an idiot,
him?
Monsoon.
Look at this moron. You know something? So
He probably has a conspiracy theory about it, too.
I'm sure they led him into saying this. For the $1 million belt for the first time on the line.
Yeah.
DiBiase versus Jake the Snake. 6 months prior this feud started.
Wow.
And nowadays, it's a month at most.
Well, we saw it the year before, right? When DiBiase stole...
DiBiase was involved with Jake with
slow burn.
Andre. Yeah, very slow burn. And DiBiase wins, of course. Akeem versus the Boss Man.
You mean the Twin Towers explode?
Oh,
Oh, boy.
and now Akeem's music is back to normal.
Yeah. What happened?
I'm telling you, they forget. I think they have forgotten when they go through. It's like when they bleeped out Big Show saying something else, but never mind when he said fuck or something.
Yeah.
You know. DiBiase was hiding under the ring the whole time and to attack Boss Man. Started that feud up. Sean,
So when his match was over, he just never went to the back?
I guess he went and
Nobody
rolled
saw him go
underneath.
to the back?
I was like, you know, I mean, they always show us vignettes, so we wouldn't know.
Yeah. But
where
if
he
you're,
went.
if you're there in the crowd.
Front row, you go, oh shit, look who it is. Sean Mooney in the crowd
Mooney.
with snot-nosed kids asking them questions that, you know, talk with their, you know, can't pronounce their words. And with old Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh, yeah.
Asking her what she thinks of rhythm and blues. And do you have all of Honky Tonk Man's albums?
Fuck off.
Oh, yes, I do. She doesn't know anything about WrestleMania, I'm telling you. Because he goes, who does Honky remind you of? And he goes, Elvis? She goes, sure. And he goes, and what about Valentine? What's he remind you of? And she goes, Elvis, too. And then she says, he goes, what do you think, you know, of Honky Tonk Man's music? Oh, yeah, I have all of his albums. And he goes, and how about Greg, and what do you think of, how about Greg the Hammer Valentine? And she goes, yeah, how about him? Jesus Christ.
What about
Why,
it?
you know, get out. You just don't stop it, Mooney. And then it is time for, what was the name of the song, Fausti? Do you have it right? What was the name of the rhythm and blues song they sang?
Ah, fuck.
Really? You don't know this by heart. I know this plenty.
No, I
But
just know
think,
DDP's driving the car.
Yes, DDP is driving the car. And the one thing I would have wrong about this song is I don't say one of the words enough times. Because it is hunka, 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 honky love.
That's right.
I say hunka, hunka, honky love.
Yeah.
But it's 3 hunkas.
Hunka, 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 honky love.
Yes. The Bushwhackers show up and break all their stuff while they're singing in the ring. I enjoy that DDP was driving the pink Cadillac to the ring. Fantastic.
Yeah, what was the deal? He said that was his car, right?
Yeah, and he said, I'll let you use it as long as I could drive it to the ring.
That's cool.
Smart, yeah. And as we said, what's the attendance for the Sky Dome?
67, 678. That's what I
There
have.
we go. Exactly. Rick Rude versus Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Rick Rude looked ripped, jacked, chiseled, and cut.
When did he not?
Well, he looked even more roided out than before. And As we know, he wears tights because he says this is an upper body business.
You don't work out his legs.
You don't work
He's like
legs.
Brock.
I don't
You
do
probably
legs.
don't tan him either, I bet.
Oh, I'm sure they were dead white under there. Well, we saw anytime his pants got pulled down, his ass was blazed white. And then it was time for the main event. Hulk Hogan versus Warrior, title for title.
Good guy versus good guy.
As we mentioned yesterday, Hogan hulking up every match usually. And when he hulks up, then it's time to win.
It's time to go home.
Yes, because the other person would do their finisher, he would kick out of their pin, and then he would hulk up, do his move, and it was over. He does this, throws us off the trail. I was Hogan supporter that day.
Oh, I was marking out for Warrior.
Yeah, see, I was a Hogan guy, and I said, the one time I root for Hogan, because I was always Mr. Perfect.
And I loved this match back in the day, too. I'd watch it a lot.
It was a very good match. That was the match of the night.
It wasn't, like, great, really, but it was just, like, the intensity and just having, like, the two top guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Two guys who couldn't lose, and then it was Hogan went for the leg drop, missed. Warrior came off with a splash. And Hogan said, well, I'm not going to act like I'm totally out.
I'm going to kick out.
I'm kicking out at 3. And then he could ask God what happened, and he was upset by it.
And then, of course, it also turns into, Hulkamania is never going to die. He's lost, but he's immortal now. And that's when he started being called the Immortal.
It brought him into immortality. He passed the torch. So that's WrestleMania 6. Do you have some notes?
Just a little couple other notes. Like Warrior, after that, had to vacate the IC title, which perfect won a tournament on Superstars.
With the tag belt he won.
Yes.
Why was that? Do we know?
Fuck, I don't know. Hogan had gotten attacked by Brother Love on the Brother Love show, and they had said that he was contemplating retirement since he had lost the title too, but he later returned at SummerSlam. And here is the big, heavy...
Who returned at SummerSlam?
Hogan.
Didn't he go... He did a Saturday Night Main Event against Mr. Perfect after he lost the belt. That was the first match since he lost the belt. He came back because God knows I remember it. I was so pissed off.
Here's your death count. Hold on to your...
Oh, boy.
Earthquake, Mr. Perfect, Roddy Piper, the whole match, Dusty, Sapphire, Savage, Sherri, Rick Rude, Boss Man, Hercules, Bad News Brown, Dino Bravo, Miss Elizabeth, Ultimate Warrior, Andre the Giant. That is 15 dead, 14 of them dying before the age of 64, because Dusty was 69 when he passed away. 15. That was, what, 16 years ago?
Oh, boy. Well, there is your...
26 years ago, sorry.
6th day.
Day 6.
Of 32 days of Lingus. I'm Kev Manning.
I'm Fauci Wellness.
And we'll see you tomorrow.